Hello everyone, this is Gary from Fantastic Fundas, and in this lecture we are going to study about the Vice President of India. It's a pretty simple lecture and you will need a Bayer Act for this. If you do not have Bayer Act, then you will have to listen to me properly and follow what is written here in proper manner. Now, first of all, it says that Article 63 is there, which says that there shall be a Vice President of India. Right, pretty simple, nothing to understand in that. Then comes Article number 64. It says that the Vice President shall be the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. What do you mean by ex officio? Ex officio means by the virtue of his office. Okay, by the virtue of his office. That means to say that just because he is holding this office, it is automatic that he will become the chairman of the Council of States or Rajya Sabha. Okay, and the vice president shall be ex officio chairman of the Council of States, and he shall not hold any other office of profit, right? And yeah, there's one more thing. Sometimes the vice president has to act as the president when the president is ill or unable to perform his duty or for whatever reason. Okay, so during that time he shall not be performing his duties as the chairman of the Council of State, that is Rajya Sabha, and obviously he would be entitled to all the salary allowances and right of the president, okay, and not the vice president or the chairman of the Rajya Sabha, right? Pretty simple, nothing much to understand in it. Vice president is very simple. The complexity is just in his removal. I will talk to it when we come there. Now, Article 65 is there then, which says that the vice president to act as the president to discharge the functions during the casual vacancies in office, okay, or during the absence of the president, when the president is unable to do his duty somehow, okay. Then the president has to vice president to perform his duties. For example, the president might be absent, so or president might be ill, right? So president post duty must be performed because he is after all the head of the executive, and no decision can be taken without the president's approval, right? Now, the vice president during this while, right, he receives all the emoluments, allowances, and the privileges which the parliament may discover by law, determine by law, okay, and till that is not defined. That means that till then the emoluments, okay, this is written in the 65 clause 3. The emolument, the allowances, and the privileges, okay. So all these would be enjoyed by the vice president when he of the level of the president, when the president is not doing his work, and in fact vice president is working in place of the प्रेसिडेंट. वाइस प्रेसिडेंट काम जब प्रेसिडेंट का कर रहा है उस समय पे उसको वह सभी सुविधाएं, एमोल्यूमेंट, पैसा, अलाउंस और प्रिविलेज सब मिलेगा जो प्रेसिडेंट को मिलता है, राइट. नाउ दिस विल बी एज पर द शेड्यूल नंबर 2, राइट. But at the same time, this can also be decreased or increased as the parliament may want, and the parliament can make a law to this extent, and this is mentioned in the constitution itself. So there can be an MCQ on this, right? Now further moving to the election of the vice president, right? So we move to the article number 66, which is about the election of the vice president. Pretty simple election, right? It is an indirect election. First of all, you must remember this one because people do not directly vote on it, okay, and because his electoral college, okay, he is not directly elected. I'll prove it to you. Because his electoral college consists of or the members of the parliament, okay, all the MPs. They can be nominated or they can be elected. They can be anyone, right? Unlike the president's election, under which the members had to be only the elected members. That is how it is in the president. But in case of vice president, it can be nominated or it can be elected, but there are no state legislative assembly member. That means in the election of the vice president, only the MPs are there and there are no MLAs. Please remember this thing. This can be asked in your paper, right? And then obviously it's the same thing, right? Proportional representation plus single transferable vote. I have explained all these things in the lecture on the president. You can refer to that lecture if you have not understood this term over here, okay. And then Okay, so and it's there in the constitution itself, article 66 clause 1. The last line of it reads that it representation by proportional representation by means of single transferable vote. Okay, and this voting is held by a secret ballot. That is important word over here, secret ballot. Okay, that no one comes to know for whom one has voted, right? And president cannot be member of the either house of the parliament. That means he cannot be an MP or he cannot be an MLA. Okay, while and if he is already there, right, then it will be deemed to have he would be deemed to be vacated his seat in that house, whether the parliament or the state legislative assembly, when he enters the office of vice president. That means that he will automatically, this would be quitted. Okay, and there are few conditions to be the president. The number one, vice president, that number one, the person should be the citizen of India. This is important thing, right? Number two, the 35 years age. Now this is pretty high age, right? And then he must be qualified to be a member of Rajya Sabha. Qualified to be member of Rajya Sabha. Basically, when we say this qualified to be member of Rajya Sabha, it means that all the qualifications of Rajya Sabha MP should be there with the president. Okay, and you see, he should not hold any office of profit, right? Not under the government at the center, okay, not at the state or any other local authority. So restriction in this case is include government, central government, state government, or any kind of local authority or other authority even. Okay, and yeah. Then there's a explanation given to article 66. If you see that, it says that the for purpose of this article, a person shall not be deemed to hold office of profit only by reason only that is the president or vice president, okay, or any state or minister from the union of that's like simple thing. Okay, that he shall that's a condition defined for office of profit. A person shall not be deemed to be holding office of profit in case he's already the president or the vice president, that ways. Okay, and then there was once question asked actually in UPSC, can a president later on become the vice president? Yes, why not? He can. Can a vice president become the president? Yes, it has happened many a times. It did happen. Okay, then what is the term of the vice president? For how many for how long did he holds his office, right? He holds his office for a term of 5 years, right? And provided he may just resign, okay, or he might be removed from his office. Vice president is also not impeached, he's removed. It's just a technical difference between the usage of that term. Okay, only the technical term used is only for the president, and rest everyone is removed. Okay, and to remove vice president, it's not that simple, right? They can be there's a proper proceeding which can initiate the process of removal of the president. Initiate let me write it properly. Initiate, okay, only in Rajya Sabha, right? And that is like one huge restriction on him. Okay, and then when this resolution is moved in Rajya Sabha, this must be it must be passed by the effective majority in the Rajya Sabha. Now, what do you mean by effective majority? It means that the 50% of the effective strength. Okay, when effective strength. I have properly discussed all the kinds of different majorities in my lecture on majorities. You can refer to that for this one, right? In this effective majority, you do not include for calculating effective strength the expulsions, the deaths, okay, and the resignations. Okay, all those things are not people are not counted, right? That with effective strength, right? And then this resolution goes to the Lok Sabha, where they pass it by the simple majority, okay. By which we mean the 50% of the present and voting, right? If you do not know what are these majorities, you please go and refer to the lecture on the majorities that I have done. Then all this shall not be done like without giving him proper notice. Okay, he has to be given proper notice of at least 14 days before any of these resolutions are moved. Okay, and that is how he's removed. Okay, and there is constitution doesn't mention any reason for the removal of the president, right? For vice president, I meant, right? For example, in the reason for the president, there's a provision that he's being removed for the violation of the constitution. It is mentioned in the constitution itself. But for the vice president, there is nothing such mentioned in the constitution. So that is like one difference. Okay, and obviously vice president will continue to hold his post till the new person is appointed, even after his term of 5 years is expired. So basically, government was constitution wanted to make assure that there is always um, a vice president at the helm of affairs. Okay, that is how it goes. And then that was article 67, and then there is article number 68, and which says that what is the time of holding the elections to fill the vacancy of the office of the president, right, and the term of the office to fill casual vacancy. See, it says, if you read article 68 clause 1, it says an election to fill a vacancy caused by the expiration of the term of the office of vice president shall be completed before the expiration of the term. So that means if a president is selected in 2010, okay, so, and his tenure goes up to 2014 for 5 years, okay, and then his election must be before this tenure ends. Now this provision is same as for the president, but then if you read article 68 clause 2, you will find a major difference when compared to the president of India, and that is, like, if there is some vacancy created because of the let's say the reason of the death, or resignation, or the removal of the vice president, then or for any other reason, okay, then in this case the elections are to be held ASAP. Our constitution uses this word, okay, as soon as possible. It says the election should be held ASAP. But if you have the barracks open, right, you may look into it, that regarding the president, what does it say regarding the article? That is in article 62, and it says that it shall be held as soon as possible after, and in no case later than 6 months. So there is a maximum period of 6 months during which this has to be done, but this period is not provided over here in the case of the vice president, and that is like a major difference between the president and vice president. Okay, so now we move to the oath of the vice president, and that is in the article number 69. Now there is a major difference between the oath of the president and the vice president. That is why we are studying this. The president's oath mentions the word preserve and protect and defend the constitution, okay, and you don't find these words in the oath of the vice president of India, okay, and that which is given under 69. And then there is one more thing, that compared to all other people, these two oaths are mentioned in the Bare Act, okay, and the rest of the oaths are mentioned under the schedule of the constitution, right? That is the major thing. Now there's one more article 70, right? It's about the discharge of the president function in other contingencies, okay, and it says the parliament may make law for this, right? Parliament may make a law for the contingencies, unforeseen contingencies, that when the to discharge the duties of the president in any contingency which are not discussed in the constitution. So parliament can make law for that, for them, when those contingencies which are not mentioned and the president is not able to do those duties, how vice president will be doing those duties. That is mentioned in article number 70, right? So that is about the vice president. Now finally, there's just one more thing to do about the vice president. The vice president is not there, then vice president performs his duty. That is mentioned over there. But what about the case when the president is not there? The constitution is silent on that factor. That is another important thing, right? And then finally, coming to the last article related to the vice president of India, this is under article 71. Now if any dispute arises as to the election of the vice president over under article 71, then in that case what will happen is that only the candidate can file a case in the Supreme Court, or the electors, that is the MPs, can file, right? And if MPs have to file, there have to be minimum 10 or more these people, okay. In the case of the president, if you recall, it was 20 or more, right, and joined together as petitioners. That is how it goes, right? Now this reminds me, there's like one more thing that I just missed to mention it, regarding the appointment of the president, okay. That should have been said earlier, but I'm mentioning it now. When the appointment of the president is there, okay, any person who wants to stand for the election of vice president, right, he must be nominated by at least 20 MPs and then seconded by the 20 MPs. If you remember, regarding the when it was president, it was 50 members, right, 50-50, and then but over here it is like 20, okay, right. And then in this case also, right, there's a president and vice president election act. Under that, he has to deposit a security fee of 15,000 at the time of filing his papers, okay? And if he doesn't get 1/6 of the total number of the votes polled, then he will not get his security deposit back, okay? So that was all about the vice president of India. And now just wanted to make two very important things, announcements. And the first thing is that I just wanted to thank you all whosoever you have shared my videos on various social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, everywhere. Thank you so much from my heart, and it is my humble request that you please keep on sharing this video in future also. जिन्होंने आज तक नहीं share की, if you really like the video, it's my humble request, please share it with others. That gives me encouragement to make better videos and ज़्यादा videos, and I can cover ज़्यादा subject अगर आप इस वीडियो को share करते हैं. And second thing is that this is for your own benefit. If you really like these videos and you want that updates about the new videos should come into your mailbox, you can subscribe to us. You can see the subscribe button over here. You can click on us and videos will come right into your email box. आप हमें subscribe कर सकते हैं. अगर ऐसा करते हैं तो videos directly आपके mail box में आ जाएंगी. बस इतना ही कहना है. That is all, and thank you for watching the videos.